car, swirling with all sorts of lost treasures. This weekend she would clean this car out until it was the shiniest looking vehicle in the village, so every time she got into it, it would practically squeak at her, the smell of pine or lemon or something desperately clean wafting over as she drove. She could picture the car smiling at her in return, its little lights flickering as eyes and a thank you. Pete and her father would be so shocked they would be rendered speechless, which would be a huge bonus. Oh, although she did have that vintage Easter fair to work this weekend in Penzance. It would have to be next weekend instead, but she would definitely get around to it. She pulled the bag out of the car, trying not to get tangled as she did so, and then placed it inside the basket she had been carrying, hoisting it up to her elbow, since it wasn't going any further past the fur. That's when she spied another 3 large boxed chocolate eggs on the other side of the car. For goodness sake! She had told her mum she didn't need any more, but the woman couldn't help herself. She supposed she should be grateful there wasn't a Tupperware container balanced atop the eggs and rammed with Easter biscuits shaped as rabbits and lambs. Her mother was an all-round Wonder Woman, but one obsessed with baking novelty-shaped biscuits, all of which were delicious and seriously contributed to Pippa's curves. She had found a pile of almond and raspberry flour biscuits next to her bed the other day. She hadn't lived at home for at least 8 years. Her mother had ninja burglary skills as well. Or the opposite of burglary. Whatever word meant breaking into people's houses and leaving stuff. Pippa returned to the job in hand. She could try and balance the boxes in a tower and hope she could go back inside without bumping into anything or dropping them 16 times. She could do that. She hadn't won last summer's It's a Knockout at Penmenna Feast Week without having some skills. Hearing the car door slam next to her, she briefly took a look just in case it was someone who could help. But it was no one she recognised. Not that she got a proper look, but Pippa knew all the staff cars by sight, and a lot of the parents as well. It was probably one of the interviewees for Lynn's maternity cover. Rosie was holding the last day of interviews today. Picking up her handbag, she managed to hook that on her shoulder, keep the chocolate egg basket on her elbow, pile up the 3 Easter eggs her mother had added, and shut and lock the car doors, her chin working the key fob this time. She was just taking 1, 2, 3 deep breaths before waddling across the car park and back into the school building, when she heard the car next to her start. Or rather fail to start. The corner of her eye caught sight of a man inside turning the key, repeatedly trying the ignition and having no luck. Maybe she should help? She had jump leads in the back under the clothes hangers. She knew she did. She'd just have to put these boxes down again and... The car next to her flashed its lights a couple of times. She slid the boxes onto the roof of her car, took the basket off her arm and turned to see the back of a man's head as he came out of the car, popped open the bonnet and secured it. A male primary school teacher, if that was what he was. They were rare indeed. Interesting. She wandered over to him and coughed. "Would you like me to take a look?" She saw from the back that he had jet black hair and, despite leaning over the car, appeared tall and well-dressed. But then, if you couldn't be well-dressed on interview day, something was wrong. She did have a bit of a thing for a man in a suit. People expected her to be all about beard-sporting hipsters or men with dreadlocks and piercings, but actually a well-cut suit or a sniff of tweed, and she got dizzy. The man in front of her turned around and she took a step back. His eyes were deep puddles of the darkest brown and fringed so beautifully with triple the number of eyelashes people normally had. That just wasn't fair. She tried not to stare, or fall in love. It was difficult. "Ah, the half-woman, half-rabbit I spotted juggling boxes as I was getting in the car." Oh shit. She had forgotten she was dressed like a rabbit. Of course she was. Perfect. She'd have to brazen it out. "Us half-women, half-woodland creatures are pretty good with cars." She grinned at him, praying she hadn't smudged her lipstick with the key fob. "Really?" "Oh yes, especially ones like me who hang around in car parks. Known for it. Although, you are running the risk that I'm fibbing and I am a cunningly disguised car thief." "Ha, well in that case, perhaps I shouldn't let you near my car." "Could be wise.